Estamos en una etapa muy importante para Guatemala. Definitivamente esta época, la época electoral, pues nos surgen muchas preguntas, nos surge la inquietud de saber cómo es que se va a manejar la política y las campañas a lo largo de toda esta campaña que durará hasta septiembre aproximadamente. Y por supuesto hay personajes que se han dedicado a proveer ayuda a las campañas políticas de muchos líderes a nivel mundial. Y hoy tenemos la dicha de contar con uno de ellos aquí en Guatemala. Él es Ravi Singh y me da muchísimo gusto recibirlo en Viva la Mañana y en Guatemala. Namaste. How are you?
Namaste. Wow, that's impressive. I was going to say, hola, ¿cómo está?
I want to talk to you about what have you done in this past years. For how much have you been working with political strategy?
Well, actually, we actually provide technology, not strategy. However, I've been doing this, believe it or not, for 11 years.
11 years.
11 years.
And what's the key of success?
It's a very interesting. Latin America has sort of moved a little bit slower, in terms of their approach in using technology. Yeah. We're starting to see here in Guatemala and the rest of Latin America significant changes in the use of technology in online politics, or what we're calling e-democracy.
That's right.
And it's really exciting. When I started this in 1999, I did not even imagine that I would be sitting here in Guatemala talking to you, or doing campaigns in Colombia, in Brazil, in Ireland, in Ukraine. So it's an amazing opportunity right now where candidates and political parties are trying to figure out what tools they need to use, like Twitter, Facebook,
That's right.
how to use them. I mean, because these politicians are old and they don't know how to use these things. So we are providing them technology as well as training to help them.
Is it easy?
No. I mean, working with politicians is never easy. But the problem is that some of these politicians don't want to change. But you know what's interesting is that the people are changing.
That's right.
And they're changing faster, and so the politicians have to keep up. Well, there's three fundamentals that every campaign needs. They need money.
Of course. That's clear.
They need to do promotion, right, or generate awareness.
Yeah.
And most importantly, at the end of the day, every campaign needs votes. So how you use technology, how you do marketing, how you do advertising, how you use social networking is no different as long as it gets you votes.
That's right.
And so the thing is that the rules have not changed. The way you play the game has.
Do you think the world is now changing to e-democracy? And what is this concept, e-democracy?
Well, e-democracy is not electronic democracy.
Okay.
That's not what it is. I know that you see the E.
Yeah.
But E stands for empowerment.
Okay.
I believe that it gives the people the tools. When the Greeks came up with the term democracy, they talked about the people and the participation. For the first time in our lives, as we're seeing in the Middle East with Egypt,
That's right.
as well as in the United States, we can create significant changes. And in Colombia, they were able to help a candidate who was 14 points behind, Defense Minister Santos at the time,
That's right.
to become president. And now we're seeing in Eastern Europe, as well as throughout all of the world, starting to realize that these tools can help create change in their own country, and the people can do it. You guys have a chance here in Guatemala to use these tools.
So e-democracy is almost the real democracy, isn't it?
It is the real democracy, but it allows the people to have the weapons to fight back, to say, hey, you know what? I want better security. I want better jobs.
Yeah.
I want accountability from my elected officials. And I can tweet that. I can Facebook it. And if you say something that I disagree with, I can create my own rally. I can create my own, congregation of people to follow me.
Oh, so how strong can a social network strategy be, or internet strategy be in a country where it's a little limited? Internet, even though we're growing on this,
Right.
But it's just for a few people. We're about 2 million people who have access to internet, and we are like 6.7 voters.
Right.
But from those 2 million people, there are a lot of them who are below 18. They can't vote.
It's interesting. Every country grows at its own rate. And I want to make it very clear. What works in the United States does not work here in Guatemala. You have to respect the culture. You have to respect the country. You have to respect the people and the political system. Democracy emerges at different times and at different places. And I really believe that if these politicians use them and the people engage with them in this election, we can create significant changes.
Among the campaign that you have worked with for candidates who became president, which have you identified yourself the most, and why?
Oh, see, this is hard because, you know, we're a technology company and we're nonpartisan. But my favorites, and I think, you know, have been in Colombia, and most recently Enda Kenny in Ireland.
That's right.
I was very excited. Ireland is a very small population. And, you know, after you go to a country like Brazil where there's 132 million voters, and you go to Ireland, which is, you know, 4 million voters.
Wow.
It's, you know, and 2 million voting population, 4 million population. It's amazing because the internet penetration was almost 70% there. So they really had one of their first digital revolutions. But, you know, it's been an honor to be able to go and help. We provide technology to whoever wants to buy it. So we offer to both Republicans and Democrats in the United States.
So you don't choose any political party specifically to work with?
I figure as long as the politicians want to push the buttons, they can do whatever they want.
Okay. Now, as opinion leaders that we are, what is our role during elections using this kind of technology? I mean, I have Twitter, I have Facebook. What's my role now?
Oh, that's such a great question. But as a journalist, we have such strong ethical. Your voice is so much louder than the everyday citizen because you have a platform to reach thousands and thousands of people in your country. So what you say could make such a significant impact and such an impact on the people's lives.
What about laws? Because we have some restrictions for political campaign for the start, you know. But a lot of them, well, here in Guatemala, they didn't respect that. What about this kind of tools? Because everyone has a Twitter, everyone has a profile on Facebook or a page on Facebook, and how do you respect laws using them?
Well, that's also a challenge. I think, you know, some of these laws have not been adapted or modernized, and sometimes these tools can hold these politicians and our governments accountable for the laws that they've passed or the laws that they haven't enforced. It's really up to the people to see what is important to them. What is important to Guatemala is not necessarily important to Colombia or to Dominican Republic or to the United States, etc. The people have to know what is important. This is their country, and they need to know how to voice it and make sure that they use these tools to have these politicians create transparency.
Ravi, the last question. Has any Guatemalan political group has contacted you for your services?
Well, let me tell you, you know, see now, you know, you're putting me on the spot. You know, whoever contacts us, we're going to have an opportunity. I'm very excited to see the response by some of the political leaders who want to use technology for the upcoming election. I think it's a compliment to the Guatemala people, and I think it's good it's healthy for the democracy. So I am so happy here to be in your beautiful country. It's my first time. I really like it. I hope to come back. But maybe as a tourist.
Okay, because you will enjoy it.
Yes,
believe me.
I know. I was just telling all my friends. It's like Guatemala is just amazing. So
thank you very much
for having me.
Well, thank you for being here and for accepting our interview.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.